Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here for wearechange.org. Thank you so much for joining me on the backup channel. If you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe and notification button. We are going to be going over a plethora of news that you will not see anywhere else. I can absolutely assure you of that. And that's why I want to start with this one. Okay, I know that everybody wants to be on that Trump train, right? Everybody wants to believe that Donald Trump is the second coming of Jesus Christmas and he's going to save us all. Sounds great, doesn't it? It sounds wonderful. But unfortunately, it's what I like to call not reality. Okay? Not reality. And we have to be very much aware of that. Okay? Now, if you've noticed on this channel, I feel like I've been super fair to the man. In fact, the last video that I did was all about the Russiagate nonsense, the fact that this is all hype, and there is a deep state that wants to take the man out. These are facts. Okay, there are factions that absolutely want to see Trump taken out. But, and this is a huge but, that doesn't mean he's perfect or that he's fighting for our freedoms all the time. In fact, this was one of the dumbest things, the worst things, in my opinion, he could have done. He did it right out of the gates, okay? And that was eminent domain, these people that thought they had won with their activism, the Keystone XL activists, Standing Rock. Nope, we're taking it anyway. We are taking it anyway. And this piece shows how far that administration is willing to go. And this was what I warned people about from the beginning with Trump. It's that, hey man, I don't like his military stances. I don't like a lot of his police state stances. I don't like his stance against Edward Snowden. All right? And this is what the Patriot Act and terrorism is for. You see, it's to demonize all dissent. You are the terrorist. Say it with me again. You are the terrorist, okay? This was never about, Muslims in caves. No. This was about targeting anyone and everyone they would like to. And that, again, that's how the deep state really, or whatever contingent you want to call, got surveillance on Trump, quote unquote, legally. It's through FISA warrants. Okay? But this shows you, I'm going to just read a little excerpt from this article that, again, activists, journalists, dissenters, protesters, whenever they damn well feel like it, you are the terrorist. And I know Luke did a piece out there recently talking about the right-wing influencers, and they put Tim Pool in there, and they put James DeMornay in there. And James DeMornay was a computer programmer at Google. He's not a right-wing influencer. He cited science. He's new to the YouTube and social media game, yet he's an influencer. The Joe Rogan, he's an evil influencer. And I'm looking at the chats over here. Guys, by the way, super chats help out a huge amount. Haven't checked yet. I don't think this video's been demonetized just yet. But you know what? Let's take a look. And someone's asking me, Connor or Khabib? Dude, Khabib's going to kill him. Khabib is going to murder him. We're talking citizen terrorists right now. Not exactly the subject, but yes, I did just watch that show of a press conference. Yep, no, we're demonetized. And for those that don't understand how this works, I want to show you. I go live, and there it is, right there. Right there, right behind me. Oh, sorry, always the wrong side. There you go. Demonetized. So now, on live on air, I will request a manual review. And who knows how long we'll go here. But in about 24 to 48 hours, if this video, because it is on the backup channel, gets 1,000 more views, maybe it will be remonetized and then seen by nobody. But do you see how that works? I've been live for 4.5 minutes. Before I go live, it says, oh, everything's okay, and then I'm automatically demonetized. Why am I being demonetized? What have I done? What have I talked about other than mainstream, mainline news? This is out of The Guardian. So let's read a little bit for you, explain how this works. The government has characterized pipeline opponents like her, and they are referring, what is her name, to Angeline Cheek, or Cheek, okay, as extremists and violent criminals, and warned of potential terrorism according to recently released records. And let me explain why this is troubling, outside of the fact these aren't terrorists, okay? They're not extremists, okay? No, they're none of those things. They're voicing their very valid concerns. They're peacefully assembling and protesting what is a very, very bad idea. They have real concerns about pollution. Okay, that's a reality. You know, we can sit here and argue who actually owns the land. Is it their land? Is it partially their land? Does it go on to their land? Will this seep into their waterways? That alone, that argument, the waterway argument, is good enough for me. But no matter what, even if those arguments were not valid, these people aren't terrorists. They should have never been classified as terrorists. And the authorities have the balls enough to write this down in their records. Warning of, let me repeat it, potential terrorism. Potential terrorism. I'm just going to read the next paragraph really quick. The document suggests that police were organizing to launch an aggressive response to possible Keystone protests, echoing the actions against Standing Rock movement in North Dakota. There, officers engaged in intense surveillance and faced widespread accusation of excessive force and brutality. Accusations? Hey, the videos are out. You can decide for yourself. I think that you would have to be blind, deaf, and dumb to not understand a lot of those actions. Yeah, they were over the top. Yeah, they were police brutality. And again, this is why I don't jump into Black Lives Matter or Blue Lives Matter. And I'm not a white supremacist for saying all lives matter, because these people's lives matter. These brown people, these white people, these black people, all standing together. And yes, the majority of them are Native Americans, but there are plenty of others standing with them. This is a people issue, and it's a police brutality issue, one that is not based on race. And I will never go into that race-baiting nonsense. Oh, so with all that being said, and guys, keep it up in the chat. Thank you so much for joining me on the backup. Remember, spread the word about the backup. Do a lot of great reports here. That Elon Musk report, the Lisa Page report, you're not seeing that anywhere else. Okay, so I've got to bring this up. We're going to move along pretty quickly here because we've got quite a few stories. Cody Wilson. Now, I do not know Cody Wilson personally. He has done an interview, or maybe a couple, for We Are Change. Luke does know him personally. He's the owner of a 3D printed gun company, Defense Distributed, and he has now been accused of sexually assaulting a minor. I tweeted this out. Now, I said accused. As far as I know, he still hasn't been charged with anything, or there is a warrant out, basically based on, some news reports I've seen when I used the Inquisitor one. Oh, look, they got my tweet. They found the Jason Burmis tweet, and they put it out there. Now, number one, I know there's a lot of people, especially in the Patriot community, that feels like this was a setup, or that it didn't occur altogether. Now, let me say this. I doubt it didn't occur altogether. A setup is a possibility. If you read into the story, he met this girl through a sugar daddy website. I can't have daughters, folks. I'm helping to raise my sister's 2 little girls, and they are adorable. They are 9 and 7. And, I don't want to talk about the, sexual depravity based on gender, because it really does go both ways. But, man, it is tough out there. Sugar daddy websites. So this 16-year-old girl somehow met him through a sugar daddy website that was 18 years of age or older. I've never been on any of these types of sites. I don't know what the criteria is for starting an account, but the bottom line is he's going to be looking at some serious charges, and I believe it's up to 10 years in prison, like a $20,000 fine, and 10 years in prison he could face for doing this. So again, is this a honeypot operation? We know in the past that yes, our intelligence agencies have indeed used prostitutes to entrap people. There is a lot of circumstantial evidence out there that many people have been blackmailed in the past, high-level people, for having sex with underage individuals. You know, the bottom line is we know our intelligence agencies have used this type of behavior before. We also know that it's not just intelligence agencies that don't want to see 3D printed guns out there, because how dare the people want to arm themselves? How dare the people want to have a choice? How dare the people empower themselves with technology? It's all bad stuff. So we're keeping an eye on this story. I'm not judging one way or the other. I couldn't tell you, again, where this is going. But I would say, since there's been such a media uproar about what he's doing, the powers that be would like to see him not only prosecuted, but successfully prosecuted and then punished to the fullest extent of the law. Now, while all this is happening, it's a story, again, you're not seeing really anywhere else. Heat-seeking missile-armed MQ-9 Reaper shot down target drone during exercise. Yes, officially, and Lord knows how many times they've done this before, but in a U.S. military drill, a drone has shot down another drone. And why is this important? Well, this just shows you we are ever so close to absolute automated warfare by drone technology. And we're not just talking aerial drones, although that'll be the majority of it. You know, we have these little robots that we've already been using in warfare. Small, yes, they're remote controlled. They are not drones. But we also have hive drones. What's a hive drone? Well, the military has been testing this stuff out since January of 2017, and they are tiny, tiny drones that work in unison in a hive-like mind. And just discussing with Luke a couple weeks back when he first got back from Burning Man, he was discussing how one of the art shows was what seemed to be moving fireworks. But as you looked closer, these weren't fireworks at all. In fact, the patterns they were making would be impossible for fireworks. They were, in fact, drones working in unison to produce a certain LED light combination and physical array. It's something that really took me aback when I found out what it was, because I remember watching it. I just watched a quick video on Burning Man just to kind of get a feel for it, because I knew Luke would be talking about it in the Sunday show. And then he started talking about the drones, and I'm like, oh my God, that's what I watched? And now, here we are. We're how many more steps closer to Skynet, where we're running drills, where the Reaper, it has such a friendly name, huh? The Reaper drone. Makes me all warm and fuzzy inside. The MQ-9 Reaper. At least they're honest about it. At least they're telling you what it's there to do. It's not there to make anybody safer. It's there to kill. It's there to kill. That's what a Reaper drone is for. That's why it's equipped with the missiles. With the missiles. So drone and drone warfare just around the corner. And if that isn't crazy enough technology news for you, well, let me tell you something. We got something just a little bit more nutty. And, you know, I might even play some of this video here. Is that part of the video? Oh, there it is right down there. But no joke. This is a woman who decided to punish her daughter, her teenage daughter, who's 15 years old, and take away her iPhone. She ended up in court. She ended up in court. And this next segment's going to be quite at odds with the video that Luke just put up on the main page. Now, Luke just was in Mexico about a month and a half ago. And he went to this city where they have thrown out government and they had thrown out law enforcement, and they created their own type of law enforcement. I don't know whether they're calling it a police force or a security force. But aside from that, it's essentially got guards on the outside. You can't come in with a political bumper sticker or pins, clothing, you know, any of that representation, right? And the city seems to be doing well. And I'm not arguing that. But think about this. Why did this woman end up in court? Well, the husband said, and it was the ex-husband, I assume, that he's the one that bought the iPhone and that he wanted her prosecuted. Now, I just want everybody out there to think. Now, you think that you live a normal life, but what about your neighbors? How many domestic disputes have you seen? How about family court? If we did not have a society, a nation of laws, if we did not have a court system, do you know how many more murders and kidnappings there would be just based on divorces? Do you know how many people lose it? They effing lose it over their kids. And sometimes rightfully so. Okay? But my point about this is I don't see like without rules, regulations, guidelines, how this could even happen. When a woman who decides to punish her child by taking away a phone, and she didn't end up getting prosecuted, but she had to show up to court. They threw it out. They had like 2 different charges. So you know what? Why don't we play some of that right now? We're going to just play it. Why not, right?
Her ex-husband.
Here we go. And you can decide for yourself.
Trial at Hudsonville District Court was set to last most of this afternoon. Jody May facing up to 93 days in jail for a theft charge. Even arraigned today on a second related charge.
I'm just going to arraign you on a new charge.
This is the phone.
The mom told us she took the iPhone 6 from her 15-year-old daughter in April after the girl got in trouble in school.
I was just being a mom, a concerned parent, and disciplining my daughter.
Her ex-husband, though, told police that he owned the phone and claimed his ex-wife's punishment was a crime. He filed a complaint with the Ottawa County Sheriff's Department, alleging that she stole the phone. That led to her arrest and these mugshots at the county jail. But today, 4 months after her arrest and just minutes after her trial started, prosecutors had a new story.
I've had an opportunity to discuss this case with the victim in this case, or at least the person that we believed owned the property.
Turns out she says the ex-husband did not own the phone after all. The daughter did, and the mom had a right to take it.
I believe that changes the case significantly. Therefore, we were requesting that.
That changes the case significantly. So again, folks, if you think that, this is all easy and fun and games and that people can get along, no, they can't. No, they can't. And, your kid whining to daddy. Children are manipulative, especially in their teenage years. But my point is this, all right? Number one, to live in a society so entitled where a smart device is like almost seen like a right, like, oh my God, it's child abuse. You took the magic box away from your kid. The spoil box away from your kid. And then, an ex-husband can file a frivolous charge, one that's not even true apparently, and you end up in court. You end up in court for doing the right thing, for trying to discipline your child. And don't think that this isn't going to go further and 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 further. It already has in our generation. Again, in my state as of January 1st, apparently you can mark X down on your baby's gender. I don't know why you'd want to do that. I don't know why you'd want to confuse your child. I don't know why you'd want to defy science, especially because most of these people are of the quote-unquote liberal persuasion. And they're always talking about science, except for when it's not convenient to them. And this pushing of boundaries. So again, this woman does the right thing. And, what she do? She ends up in court. And it's going to be curious to see where we are with our court system, with our legal system, with our globe in general. Julian Assange just has put out an hour-long interview. It's like 53 minutes long. I have not watched the entire thing. All I've been able to do so far is just see some of these quotes. And I want to read one for you right now. Where is it? Right here. This generation being born now is the last free generation. You are born, and either immediately or within, say, a year, you are known globally. Your identity is in one form or another, coming as a result of your idiotic parents plastering your name and photos all over Facebook or as a result of insurance applications or passport applications is known to all major world powers. And what's he telling you? He's telling you big data is here, baby. And he's not only warning you about big data, he's warning you about your behavior on social media. It's forever. Everything digital is forever. This video here, my face right here, next to Assange, it's forever. Forever. All right? If I put up a photo on Facebook, it's there forever. Doesn't matter if I take it down. Everything that's put into the digital ether is now forever. That is why when you go to my personal Facebook, you do not see many pictures of me socializing with people, of the children I take care of me with my family. There are a few. They are few and far between. Why? I don't want to be aggregated. I don't need my whole life out there. And so many people just volunteer. I was scrolling through Facebook the other day, and one of my really good friends that, I don't see him that often, but, he's in my fraternity. I went to his wedding, and he's got a picture of his kid with her pants down on the toilet because she's got a laptop over it, and he thinks it's cute. A little too much. It's nothing, child porny or inappropriate like that, but it's kind of an intrusion, don't you think? You used to have those embarrassing photographs at home that your mother used to whip out if you had a new girlfriend or, somebody else from the family was around. And there'd be like a little chuckling and some embarrassment there. No, they're documenting your whole life now. And Assange is right. And we're beyond the slippery slope. Again, we've got drones attacking drones in military exercises. We're that close to artificial intelligence and Skynet. Do you get it? And how free are we today? How free are we today? I'd say, globally, we could be a lot better. But globally, it looks like we're going to get a lot worse. And you can see that with the Chinese credit score system. And Google and Apple and our government just weaving their way not only into China physically, into their region, but into their social behavior. And normalizing that and accepting it. And saying censorship is just going to be part of our life. And trying to make it about conservatives. They're censoring conservative voice. No. They're censoring all sorts of voices that are not just conservative voices. And that's a huge issue. I don't think anybody should be censored. Once again, the way around bad speech, hateful speech, destructive speech, what is it? It's more speech. It's correct speech. It's relating to people. But no, we can't have that. We have to be the thought police. We have to ban things for your safety. And again, who is the decider? Who is the arbiter of truth? The last time I heard about a decider, it was George W. Bush. I'm the decider. Is that what we need? I'm the decider. We certainly know it goes beyond Trump. And he shouldn't be the decider either. We've already seen he makes poor decisions. Hence the beginning of this broadcast. Hence what's going with the Keystone XL pipeline. Hence how activists and protesters are being considered terrorists or potentials for terrorism. Okay? Oh, boy. Let's see the drone warriors. Let's see. So, there's a couple other stories I thought that we should cover, and this one is definitely it. So, the Sunspot observatory that was shut down for 11 days, ghost town. I'm not saying that this is the truth, by the way. I'm saying this is what they're reporting, and out of all the conspiracy theories that were out there, because it took the internet by storm. You saw it on every mainline channel. You saw it on Vice. Is it an alien invasion? Is it sunspots? Are we going to have a solar storm? Is it a flare? Are we going through a cataclysmic event? Are armadas of space aliens coming off the sun? Is there a mercury leak? Have the Chinese hacked in? Is it an infiltration operation? And I'm not saying that what they're telling us is true. But boy, do they like to throw that curveball. And they're saying it's an investigation into a night janitor coming in and using the Wi-Fi to download child pornography. Now, let me say this. If you had the FBI come in, it was 11 days, and you had to take everything out, you would think it'd be a larger investigation than just one person downloading porn. Maybe a distribution ring, maybe shooting something there. And if, say, I don't know, the FBI had gone in and shut down a certain pizza parlor for 11 days and looked into the information that Titus Frost and Big Fish, who hacked into the servers there and claimed to find a global network of CP, they've done that for 11 days. Who knows where we'd be today? Maybe there would be real indictments. Maybe people would be doing jail time. Huh? You ever think about that? It's interesting, right? We wouldn't have to sit here and ponder about imagination land on 4chan message boards from Anons that are telling you that they're white hats and just trust in the plan. Trust in the plan. Trust in the plan. Every time I hear that, all I can think of is trust no one. Trust in the plan. Get the hell out of here. And we got one of the chats over here. I bet they found Bigfoot. I mean, come on. Again, but, you know, one of the reasons I want to talk about this and kind of segue into our last story is that just because somebody does have a position of prominence, just because they are respected in the community, well, doesn't mean that they're not a weirdo. And this is being called a role-playing case. Here we have another high-ranking state employee. But I'm going to promise you that this goes well beyond any type of quote-unquote role-playing. Anybody that would role-play what I'm about to read to you has obviously done some other things. And it's shocking to me that he hasn't been caught. Okay? So take a look at this guy. Scary-looking individual. A little grumpy. I'd be grumpy too if this was what I was into it. A high-ranking state employee was arrested on 29 counts of child endangerment, all part of a bizarre role-playing case, sources say. John B. Allen Jr. was arraigned in Coeman Court Wednesday morning. According to court documents obtained by News 10 ABC, Allen is accused of luring 4 victims into Comey's home on various dates throughout the past year. Each time, he allegedly convinced the children ages 12 and 13 to take off their pants and change into a diaper. The sicko has teenage boys coming in to wear diapers. Let's just continue reading. I don't need to say much else, right? We're all normal people here. We understand how this is repugnant, disturbing, destructive, disgusting. Sources with intimate knowledge of the case say that Allen had outfitted a room of his Westerlo Street home into an adult nursery, complete with 2 hospital beds designed to look like large cribs. The same source says Allen is a high-ranking employee with the New York State Office of Mental Health. Lovely. Checking the office's website, we found John Allen, who is listed as a special assistant to the commissioner. News 10 ABC called the department to confirm Allen's employment, and the arrest seemed to be a surprise to the department's spokesperson. Upon learning of these shocking allegations, OMH immediately moved to terminate Mr. Allen. Protecting all people in the state of New York is our primary mission, and OMH is prepared to assist law enforcement in any way possible as they continue their investigation. Sickos in the world, folks. Sickos in the world. On that note, guys, again, I want to remind everybody this backup channel is really important to We Are Change. So please subscribe, hit that notification bell, tell others, share this on social media, and remember, not only be the change you want to see in the world, but have conversations with people that matter. With your friends, with your family, with the person sitting next to you at the bar stool. It's so important. And it's so important to try to find a point of agreement before there's a point of contention, so that we can try to reveal the true world to those who do not yet see. So once again, thank you all for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow.